Y'all remember Target? I really remember Target.
Company reported weaker than expected sales during its first quarter. Target CEO says while tariffs are a concern, the company is dealing with other challenges, most notably the boycott spearheaded by Pastor Jamal Bryant of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church right here in Metro Atlanta. He called for a 40-day economic fast against the company in February for its rollback of DEI or diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. And since then, he's continued to encourage shoppers to avoid the store.
Corporations who were not asked to make these broad sweeping promises, who are now rolling them back, I think they're learning in real time that it's a bad thing to be on the wrong side of a movement like this.
Well, they will be releasing their first quarter earnings 2025 on May 22nd. Now, we will also be able to see the profit and loss, the loss, and the impact that the boycott has. Don't forget, it's still going on. It's still going on. I really don't think I have an urge to actually buy anything from there ever again because I'm living. I was like, wait, how do I live without Target? Look at me. Look at me. June 14th is National Tan Suit Day. We will either post a picture of Obama in that tan suit, change your profile picture, post it on social media. It does not matter. That is what we will observe that day as, not the spray tan spectacle, okay? We give no fucks about that day. We will not watch it. We will not interact with what goes on and what has happened with our taxpayer dollars that they're trying to save, but they're not. They're just spending it. Yeah, all the money that y'all thought he was going to help you find. Where is it? Where's your stimulus checks? Where is the no taxes on overtime and all of that? Yeah, it's still there. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Bye.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So Target Corporation reported its fiscal first quarter 2025 on May 21st, revealing a challenging quarter marked by declining sales and profits. You all know people decided to boycott Target after they actually rolled back on DEI initiatives, and this has been one of the reasons as to why they're seeing these declines in sales, and they've lost over $700 million in the first quarter. And Black Americans have this to say. I want us to watch these videos together, guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credit belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my good name is Gracie D. Kindly consider subscribing to this channel, give this video a like, and let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary. Also, are you still shopping at Target, especially if you are a Black American? Let me know on the comment section. If not Target, then where are you going to do your shopping? Because most people never thought that they would survive without Target. But as this lady was saying on the video, she has survived. And I know so many other people have survived. So let's just watch and we'll come back with more commentary.
The date, May 21st, 2025. The news, Target has officially failed its first quarter review due to the boycotts. Now, you can go and cross-reference this information. You can find it on Washington Post. You can find it on CNN. Literally just Google it. You'll find it, right? So Target has officially failed its first quarter review, right? Sales have plummeted by 3.8% due primarily to the continuous boycotts from the African diaspora, and Hispanic/Latin community. Yes, in Target's official filings for the first quarter review, it states that the reasons for the failure in sales is a combination of the boycotts and Trump tariffs. Now, this part is not news, right? So Target employees have been letting the higher ups know, HR, whoever is in charge of the slowdown in foot traffic and overall sales. Even loss prevention is like, listen, they're not stealing from us anymore. No, their loss prevention can't catch nobody because there's nobody in the stores to catch because nobody wants to buy anything. Y'all see how big of a problem that is? Like, I give you guys these updates because I truly want you to be inspired. I want you to see that your hard work is actually getting somewhere. You understand? This is not going to be one of those 1-2 quick little processes. This is definitely something where we're in it for the long haul. This is not instant gratification. It's delayed gratification. But along the way, I want to show you guys the little bits of progress that we are making, because best believe there is progress, okay? And I will continuously reiterate this piece of information every single chance that I get, and that is that the black spending power here in the United States is at 1.98 trillion. 1.98 trillion. And for Latin and Hispanic community, they're at 2.6 trillion. 2.6 trillion. You want to know why Target is feeling it? Is because they were counting on us to overspend. We were the overspenders. Let's be honest. Target is a luxury store. It's a luxury store. You were having people who probably couldn't spend money or as much money as they really wanted to come in and enjoy walking around, get your little Starbucks, buy shit that we normally would not buy because we don't necessarily need it. You understand? But you fucked around when you decided to show that you were no longer in alliance with us. You understand? Or to show your true faces, like your true colors. That's the reason why this is hurting them. And now we're applying that same pressure to Walmart. We're applying that same pressure to Walmart. Now, I know a lot of the OGs who started doing this literally in November was like, F Walmart, F Target, F Meta, F Amazon. They said F everybody all across, straight across. But some people, they needed to see some type of incentive. They needed to see some type of progress. And this is the progress. This is the progress. Do not go out there in them streets. I'll say that again too. Don't go out there in them streets. Don't go out there in them streets when you literally, your best bet is literally just holding your money. Just hold your money. Just hold your money. That's it. That's it. And now that we're holding our money, I need us to start investing in our community. Like, I don't know if there could be a susu or something set up where if we're taking Target out of business, a black Target needs to pop the fuck up. If we're getting Walmart out of business, a black Walmart needs to pop the fuck up. If we're getting rid of Amazon, a black Amazon needs to pop the fuck up. That's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at now. We need to rebuild this. We're taking it away. We got to rebuild it, guys.
But Target, it seems that the reports are reporting that in the first quarter that y'all sales had dropped sharply, and it will continue to do so all of 2025. So all of 2025, the sales will be on the decline. Listen, I never seen somebody have a harder fall off than Target. Target, I don't understand how did y'all fumble the bag so bad. All y'all had to do was treat people right. All y'all had to do was be exclusive. Like, wasn't it a couple months ago that the reports were saying that the foot traffic was on the decline? Listen, Target, it's not been a good year for y'all. I don't know what y'all got to do. I don't know who y'all got to talk to in the boardroom. Y'all might want to get y'all CEO on the phone. Okay, y'all might want to ask y'all CEO, what is the next steps? Okay, I know is that little black hand ain't help y'all. It ain't help y'all one bit. That's why y'all start showing that little black hand. Listen, that black hand ain't bring nobody up in that store. Listen, the reports are saying that y'all sales are on the decline, Target. Now, what lesson was learned?
You remember Target? No? Okay, whatever. Reporting live from the United States of Embarrassment, I have your breaking good news. And if you're new here, buckle up, follow, share, repost. Let's talk about Target. Now, initially, Target stated that they would release their Q1 2025 earnings on tomorrow. They released them today, and this is what they look like. Now, this information comes directly from Target's website. There is a loss. I've never had $1 million, so I don't know the brunt of the impact of this loss, but I know it is a loss. It could be more. So we have to stand firm. That's all I'm saying. We just literally have to continue to boycott. And then what gets me is the wording that they use on this presentation. Guests also responded to the newness and the seasonal value. We didn't, because we're not even in there. It's empty. It's empty. And something's not adding up, because a lot of businesses who still have their products in Target due to contractual obligations, whatever the case may be, still say that there have been massive losses across the board. So where's the money? Where's the money coming from? Who's buying it? And I know a lot of the other people have been supporting Target still, but they don't go as hard as we do, as we did. So, let's just keep it up. A win is a win. And as always, I will be available to provide you with breaking good news to outweigh the bad. Bye, guys.
So it looks like Target might be the new Kmart. And what people don't understand is, back in my day, Kmart was Kmart. Like, we didn't see Kmart just like not existing anymore. The same way like a lot of people see Target. Like, there's no way Target could ever like not exist. We love Target. I'm telling you. But honestly, that's the same way I feel about this app. Like TikTok, like I do not like posting on here, like at all. Like, I make majority of my money on Facebook and IG. Like, I hit 1 million so quick. 1 million views is nothing to me on IG. On here, it's like, But I feel like that's what they want to do. They want us to not like the app. But the thing that's going to hurt a lot of creators, they're going to realize that they're not really content creators. Some of them are just like yappers. They just talk. They just can just hit record and make some money. But they got to understand, on most of these platforms, you really have to create content. Like, it has to have some type of value to it. And that's what TikTok wants you to do. But that's why we like TikTok, because we could just talk, make some money real quick, just, on some clickbait, rage bait. Dang, I said bait. I'm so country. And that's what TikTok needs to understand. We don't want to do all that editing and shit. We don't want, like, we come to TikTok just to press record. We don't want to do all this stuff. But damn, I was just talking about Target, and now I'm talking about TikTok. Y'all have a good day.
The CEO of Target took a 45% pay decrease. His salary was cut by almost 50% because of how terribly they're doing right now. And you want to know what the craziest part about it is? Because I did some research. I'm trying to look up, because he's still getting paid almost $10 million a year. But this is a gag. So obviously Target is not doing well because they cut their DEI programs, and most people were upset. A lot of companies did, but most people were upset because Target was so intentional, and it seemed like they genuinely cared about DEI, people of color, women, the disabled. Like, their activism seemed very intentional, especially after the unaliving of George Floyd, right? So while I'm doing my research, I see that the man's highest salary, like his peak salary, was after that happened, after everything happened with George Floyd. So isn't it ironic that when you were supporting, DEI initiatives and, being intentional about supporting, marginalized communities, you made the most money of your career with Target, but as soon as you roll back, and you literally didn't have to, but you showed how you truly felt. Now you're making, almost the least of your career. You took almost a 50% pay cut. Is that not super crazy? I don't think Target will ever recover. Even if they got a new CEO, I think they're done. Like, obviously Target's not going to close, but they've lost a lot of customers that I don't think there's anything that they can do to get them to return.
How many of you are ready to bankrupt an entire corporation? I've been asking this question for months. We have been talking about Target for months now, and we have a new development. According to reports, the CEO has been forced to take a pay cut. Not just any pay cut, a 45% pay cut, because revenue is down at Target. Here's a fun fact. Do you know how much money the black community was spending at Target, even when traffic slowed down at their stores before this boycott happened? Do you know how much money we were spending in their stores? Black Americans were spending over $10 million per day at Target. That's a lot of money when you really think about it. If I were a good businessman, I would not mess with that kind of revenue that has been a mainstay for my store that was already struggling before these boycotts took place. Yes, Target was already struggling to compete with the other major retailers. And one of the things that kept them afloat was our business. One of the things that made their stock price surge over a 2 to 3 year period, allowing them to record some of the highest profits they ever recorded in the history of the company, was when they decided to support DEI initiatives. When they decided to actually get behind what the communities were crying out for. When they saw a tragedy take place, they said, we will change our business model to respect these people who are crying out for equity. But then the orange man rose again. And for some reason, Target felt like they needed to change everything that was successful for them. They forgot how much money we were spending. And they probably thought we weren't going to go anywhere. Like many people, they got sick of standing for the cause and they said, you know what? It's not going to matter. They are not going to shop anywhere else. Who cares? Well, now they're finding out in the hardest of ways that they should have cared. That money has not been coming through their stores. And because of their poor performance in the first quarter, the CEO is literally taking a pay cut. He has to take in half of the money that he was taking in before this year. I say we keep going. I know a lot of people are not ready to go back to shopping there. I'm not going back. I think this is the perfect example that should be set in this regime. Target will be going all the way down. We're halfway there, guys. We just have a little bit further to go.
Yeah, guys, so that is what's happening. Target is really feeling the heat. And having lost 700 million US dollars in quarter one, like, it's crazy, because how is the rest of the year gonna be like? Because black people have decided that they are going to boycott these corporations until they learn a lesson. Some people have even promised not to go to these stores. They're not going back to such corporations. They're not going to deal with such people. And I think that is for the greater good, because tell me why 106,000 black women have lost their jobs because of the same rollback on DEI initiatives. And then such corporations like Target want the black dollar, want black people to come and support them. And this actually should be a lesson for most black people. It's high time for those black people that have a lot of money that can open such corporations. I know they keep on saying, oh, we tried, it failed, they can never let us be. But I say don't give up, keep on trying, open such corporations. Let's have a black Target, a black Walmart, black everything. That you don't have to worry with dealing with such corporations. Because now, imagine, I feel very bad for people that are actually working at Target, because I know they had to actually lay off some people, because with the declining in sales and there are no people in their stores, then they don't see the need of having so many people working in Target, because there is no sales, there is no work. And one thing about these rich people and about these companies and these jobs that we always working is that when there is a decline in sales and when they're not making profits as they want, or when their profits are actually declining, we as the workers are the ones that suffer the most, because they'll have to just let you go, because they'll say, you cannot keep on working here because we don't even have enough money to pay you. And this is crazy. So I was looking at how this has been, or the loss. So I've been looking at what Target has lost in quarter one as from the first quarter of 2024. The net sales were quarter one 2025 $23.8 billion US dollars, and it has decreased with a 2.8% decrease from 24.5 billion US dollars in Q1 of 2024. So they also said that the comparable sales fell by 3.8%, with in-store sales down 5.7%, while digital sales rose 4.7%. And the reason as to why in-store sales are going down is because, when you walk in such stores, especially when you are someone who is an impulse buyer, which most people have been doing. I also do that sometimes when I walk in a store. So you find you're buying things that you had not even planned for, or some things that you don't necessarily need in your household, and you're just piling up your house with trash. And this is why you're seeing the sales are declining, because Black people have been like, you know what, we are not going to shop at Target. There was a 40 days boycott, and still people are boycotting Target and other corporations. I'm sure of that. We'll go and search and see how the laws, or what are the effects of these boycotts in these other corporations. So the reason as to why Target Corporation has been underperforming in its first quarter of 2025 compared to its first quarter of 2024 is weakened consumer sentiment due to economic uncertainty, tariff-related cost and supply chains impacts pressured margins, public backlash over DEI challenges affecting changes affecting brand perception and foot traffic. So I even went on ahead. There is a lot that they have said, but my concern was to see how much the Black community was spending in Target. And this is what I found. So this is why I always say it's quite easy for you to go and do your own research. Instead, sometimes I see people complaining when people come on camera and say a lot of things without doing a research, and they end up giving the wrong information. So this is just a research that I did from ChatGTP. You can also go on Google, and I wanted to see what is the Black spending, like how much Black consumers spend in Target. So Black consumers have historically contributed significantly to Target's revenue. Estimates suggest that Black shoppers spend between 12 million and 29.9 million per day. This is per day at Target. This translates to an annual contribution ranging from approximately 4.4 billion to 10.9 billion. And you won't tell me that you Black people, you cannot come together and build such things for your community, have schools for your community, when you're spending all this much at these corporations that don't even care about you. It's crazy. It went on ahead and said that this substantial economic influence has been a focal point in recent discussions, especially in light of Target's rollback of its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. These changes have promoted boycotts and protests from Black consumers and civil rights leaders, highlighting the community's significant purchase power and its potential on Target's financial performance. So because most will watch and say this had nothing to do with Black people, this had nothing with the boycotts, there are always the doubting Thomases everywhere. But you see, that is how much Target, or that is how much the Black community has been spending on Target. And you've seen what they've lost in the first quarter, $700 million in the first quarter of 2025 compared to their first quarter of 2024. So Target had previously pledged to invest over $2 billion in Black-owned businesses by 2025, aiming to support Black entrepreneurs and cater to Black consumers. However, the recent policy shifts have raised concern about the company's commitment to these goals. I think that is why they didn't even think twice on rolling back on DEI, because maybe they were like, we're going to save on these $2 billion that we're going to invest in the Black-owned businesses. And now, them thinking that they're actually saving $2 billion, they've lost a lot more than what they could have used to invest in the Black community. So I even went on ahead and see how much Target has reported, like what they've lost in first quarter from the Black community. Of course, we're not going to have these data publicly, but with the data that they have given and what they've lost and what the Black community actually spends at Target, I tried to like in first quarter of 2024, net sales was 24.5 billion. So estimated Black consumer spending is 8.9% of 24.5 billion, which equals Black people spent 2.18 billion US dollars. That is in quarter one of 2024. And quarter one of 2025 net sales as to what it was like last year. So this is like in 2025, this year, 23.8 billion. So estimated Black consumer spending, this is just an estimate, is not the actual data. 8.9% of 23.8 billion equals 2.12 billion. So there's a difference there. I know for some it may not seem such as a big difference, but it's a difference and it's making a change. It's significant for them to feel that loss. So this indicates a year-over-year decrease of approximately 60 million US dollars in spending by Black consumers at Target between Q1 2024 and Q1 2025. So this data is only, or these figures are estimates based on the available data, as I had said, and actual spending may vary. The decline may reflect. So before you all come for me, it's important to note that these figures are estimates based on available data, and actual spending may vary. So it might be different from what I'm having here or from how I had done my own research. So Target is feeling the heat. And people were like, you're gonna just boycott Target for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, and you're gonna go back. Because, there have been other corporations and other companies that the Black community has boycotted, and most didn't last for long. But now with Target and everything that have been done with the new administration and these corporations following politics instead of, listening to what their consumers want, it's hurting them as it's supposed to. Because there is no way you're going to roll back on initiatives that are actually there to help people. And just because you think they only benefit the Black community, you want to get rid of them because you want favors from politicians. This is why I keep on saying you cannot mix business and politics because they don't work. Look at what happened to our guy Elon Musk and his companies. Look at what is happening to so many businessmen that, decided to mix their business with politics. So this is what's happening to Target, and I don't know how the second quarter is gonna be, but we're gonna wait and see until they release the data at the end of the second quarter. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section, guys. I also asked if you've been wondering where to shop and you've been shopping at Target and now you're confused. Tell us on the comment section where you are now shopping, and help people that are confused and are still, choosing to go to Target because they don't know what to do anymore. Thank you so much for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.